Are you moving to Phoenix? Are you worried about the summer heat? I've got you. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back and for spending your time with me. My name is Lindsay, and I'm proud to be your Anthem, Arizona realtor with the Wise Move AZ team at Realty One Group. On this channel, we have a lot of fun talking about all things Anthem and real estate every single Thursday, and we absolutely love having you along for the ride. If you're nervous about adjusting to summers in Phoenix, you are not alone. Most of our clients move to Anthem from out of state and from completely different climates. We get questions about preparing for Arizona summers all the time, and I promise it's so much more than tumbleweeds and mirages. If we look at the data collected by the National Centers for Environmental Information, we see that the highs range from 94 degrees to 106 degrees Fahrenheit in May through September. And in those 5 months, we're likely to see only 5 days of rain on average. It also didn't help that the summer of 2020 was officially the hottest summer on record for Phoenix, as if we needed that on top of everything else 2020 had to offer. Just saying. If you want more information on the weather in Anthem, Arizona specifically, and how it compares to the rest of Phoenix, you can click to watch this video. Anyways, long story short, it's hot and it's dry, but you've got this. In this video, I'm sharing 10 things that will really help you to transition into life in the Phoenix area and will have you chillin' through your first Arizona summer like an old pro. Before we jump in, I want to say thank you to one of our longtime subscribers, Gary, for this video idea. Gary, if you're watching, hi, and thanks. We had a lot of fun with this one. Number 1, a layered wardrobe. Did you see the range of temperatures on the chart I shared earlier? The high in May is 94 degrees and the low is 67 degrees. I don't know about you, but the clothing I want to wear at 94 degrees looks and feels a lot different than the clothing I want to wear at 67 degrees. Although the desert can be really hot during the day, as soon as that sun goes down, it cools off really quickly. Additionally, you have to contend with the fact that even if it's 107 degrees outside, it feels like 70 as soon as you walk into the grocery store. I recommend purchasing breathable clothing that you can easily layer. I like to keep a sweater in my car at all times, just in case. If you'll be spending a lot of time outside, you may want to have light, breathable clothing that also covers your arms and legs to protect you from the sun. Number 2, access to a pool. We get a lot of questions about pools from our clients. I'll link to the video where we tackle the pool versus no pool debate when buying an Arizona home in the cards for this video. My point here is not to say that you need to buy a home with a pool. You definitely don't. But I do think that you need access to a pool, whether that's your own pool, a friend's pool, a community pool, or the pool at your gym. On the hottest day of a Phoenix summer, no amount of air conditioning feels as good as jumping in the pool does. Number 3, air conditioning. A good, reliable air conditioner is an absolute must in Phoenix. If you're buying a home and the air conditioner is getting up there in age, I strongly recommend that you have the HVAC systems inspected prior to purchasing and then stick to a regular service schedule. If you want more information on what inspections to consider when buying a home in the Phoenix area, click to watch this video. Ceiling fans can also be a huge plus. If your home doesn't have ceiling fans, consider installing them. They can be a great way to cut down on your electricity bills in the summer. Number 4, a reliable vehicle. If you're going to be traveling on the highways, you need a reliable vehicle. And let's face it, if you're living in Phoenix, chances are you'll be traveling on the highways. It can be very dangerous if your car breaks down and you're stranded on the side of the road, even for a short period of time in the summer. Make sure you always have drinking water in your car and you always have your phone in case you need to call for help. The best thing to do is to stay on top of routine maintenance and checks. You also want to make sure that you have a working air conditioner in your car, because when it's 114 degrees outside, rolling down your window feels more like opening the oven than getting a breath of fresh air. Number 5, vehicle storage. Speaking of a reliable vehicle, you also want to have somewhere to store that vehicle out of the direct sunlight when possible. Ideally, you want to have a garage that you can park your vehicle in. If not, a covered carport will also help. When you don't have either, I strongly recommend that you use those sunshades in your windshield. Honestly, anything you can do to protect your vehicle from the sun in the long run will help. Not only will it make your car a little bit cooler to get into, but it can extend the life of your vehicle. One funny thing that just popped into my head, when I moved to Anthem, I thought that I wouldn't have to wash my car as much because it doesn't snow and it hardly rains, right? Well, it turns out you end up washing your car just as often because of all of the dust. Number 6, sunscreen. This is a must. Buy it in bulk, incorporate it into your morning routine, and always carry extra. Seriously, this is one I can't stress enough. I know it can be a pain, but take the time to find a sunscreen you like and use it. In addition to sunscreen, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, using hats and clothing as a barrier from the sun can also be really helpful. Also, as you settle into life in Arizona, I recommend that you consider adding seeing a dermatologist to your regular health and wellness routines. Depending on where you're moving from, you could be exposing yourself to a lot more UV rays, and I don't want anyone taking chances with skin cancer. Number 7, a good moisturizer. We joke around that Arizona is a dry heat, and that makes it more bearable. Now, whether that's true or it's just something we say to make ourselves feel better, I'm not sure. But I do know that it is dry here. Obviously, hydrating from the inside by drinking lots of water is a must, but I found that that's still not enough. You need to find a moisturizer that works for you, and much like the sunscreen, you need to incorporate it into your daily routine. Personally, I've been using this Neutrogena Hydro Boost Body Gel Cream, and it has been working really well for me. This big bottle has lasted me forever, and although I really like it, I am on the hunt for a lower waist alternative, so if I find something that I like, I will definitely pop it into the comments for you. Number 8, an insulated water bottle. Speaking of hydrating from the inside out, you shouldn't be going anywhere during an Arizona summer without water in hand. You're going to want to get a big insulated water bottle or tumbler because hot car water is gross. I got this tumbler from Costco. It came in a pack of 2, so one for me and one for my husband. I think it was $20 for the set, and they are amazing. I can put ice in there at the start of the day and still have ice when I get home at the end of the day. Not only will having an insulated cup or bottle help to keep your water cold or at least cool, but it will also cut down on the number of disposable water bottles being used. So that's a big one too. Anyways, the big thing is making sure that you stay hydrated and finding a system that works for you. I also want to say that while drinking lots of water is really important, it's also important to keep your electrolytes up. Since Arizona is so dry, we often don't realize how much we're losing in sweat. Number 9, indoor hobbies. One of the biggest perks of living in Arizona is all of the outdoor activities like hiking, mountain biking, and golfing. But on the hottest days of the summer, it isn't safe to spend prolonged periods of time outside. For example, I don't recommend that you go and hike Camelback Mountain when it's 110 degrees outside. For those really hot days, it's great if you can have some indoor hobbies lined up. Personally, I like to plan some of our indoor home improvement projects for the hot summer months. If we get these projects out of the way when it's too hot outside, it just means that there's less to do later in the year when the weather is perfect for sitting out. Number 10, have an escape plan. I don't know what it will be like for you, but for me, I get to a point near the end of the summer every year where I just hit a wall. It feels like it's been a little too hot for a little too long. In those moments, it's good to have an escape plan. I don't mean moving away from Phoenix, but I do recommend visiting some of the cooler parts of the state during the hottest months. I think that Arizona as a whole can get a bad rap for being too hot in the summer. But the truth is, with just a few hours of driving, you can be in Flagstaff, which is a totally different climate. There are so many places to explore in northern Arizona when you need a break from the heat. Make a list of places you want to visit and then plan to tour them when you just need a break from the summer heat in Phoenix. The summers in Phoenix may be hot, but they are definitely doable. If you're considering a move to the Phoenix area, you may want to download a copy of our free guide, Moving to Arizona, 10 Reasons to Consider Anthem. So I will link to that in the description box below. If you found this video helpful, let me know by hitting that like button and subscribing to our channel. Lastly, if you'd like to hear my take on the pros and cons of living in Arizona, click to watch this video up top. Or if you're ready to tackle the pool versus no pool debate when it comes to buying your Arizona home, click to watch this video on the bottom.